Western Riders, it kind of looks like I might have some bad news for you, and I'm just going to be honest. This is what the cards are telling me, and what I'm seeing in the cards. I don't think you've earned it. So out of 10 cards, you got 8 reversals. So there's a lot of internal work that needs to be going on right now. Also, there's a lot of earth energy, so you seem to be a little bit too grounded, and there is no air in any of these cards. And you need to breathe. Let yourself breathe for a minute. Um, you did get 2 majors, so it doesn't seem to be it's going to be that big of an issue. I think not life changing an issue. I know it feels like that. What it feels like is you feel like you're alone. It feels like you have no direction to go in. You're not perfect. There's nothing going right. You want the attention, and you want to move to the next step. But you need to. It's a weird. I know there's a lot of earth and there's a lot of grounding. I think that's more of a feeling that you're getting because you're not moving forward. You have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's the only court card that came up. So I just kind of feel like with the Knight of Crystals. I mean Pentacles is the same thing, but the Knight of Crystals is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles likes to have all of his T's and all of his I's dotted. I'm sorry, T's crossed and I's dotted before he moves on to the next step. And this is just someone who seems to be, because it's internal, either you're feeling really slow or you're feeling like you just want to move on to the next step and just skip steps to get higher. But the reason why I'm saying that it seems like you want to move faster is because the card at the bottom of the deck is the Six of Blades. Oh, I read that one wrong. Hold on for just a second. Let me revise, because I read it as wands for some reason. I read it as staves. Moving on to the next step. I mean, it's still sort of okay. Originally, I thought it was attention. You wanted attention, but I think you're wanting. It's still sort of the same message. It looks like it's just with the Six of Blades. You seem to want to be moving to the next step without doing the work. The Six of Vessels, or I'm sorry, the Six of Staves would have been more like you wanted attention. Um, but the Six of Blades is, I like to think of that as the refugee card, and it's moving from one place to another. Not letting things of the past that have hurt you not affect the things going forward. And just like learning from those lessons, but moving forward. So, what I'm gonna kind of go with in this in general is, which means that's a fire card. Wait, which means that is the air card. So we're gonna just, you still have, it still air is your weakest, your weakest element, but I just kind of, it just seems like you want to move too fast. There's some stuff that you haven't worked out internally. And some other things that I got out of this is the Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Crystals. And it's usually about perfection, a perfected skill. And I kind of, because it's reversed, it just kind of seems like there's a skill that you feel like you're not perfect at. With the Six of Crystals reversed, this one is kind of like not in a healthy exchange of energy. What I want to do though is I want to bring you back to this card because it's reversed. If you're looking at this orange thing, it's the one crystal that has something different about it. It's like accepting your imperfections. That's kind of what was coming up as I was looking at all this. Accepting your imperfections, because you've also got the World that is reversed, and I usually get that when a completion card comes up reversed, the querent, is not accepting of an ending in order for them to move forward. There's also the Hermit reverse, so you want to move on and not be stuck in this internally. You want to talk to people, but it just seems like you need to do the work. There's no options for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no options. This is the sixth one. So there's no nostalgia. There's no fun in it anymore. You've got no balance, no stability. So it's just what it kind of feels like that you have some inner work to do. Now, how I would do that inner work is I would focus on the air element, like I mentioned before. Look up Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. They might have some aspects of something you can use to go forward with whatever is going on here. I'm also going to mention that both of your World and Hermit cards are based on, have the Earth element. So I know there's a lot of Earth energy right now, and that's why it just feels really heavy to me. But because both of your major arcana cards came up Earth, I'm going to suggest maybe looking up maybe where that Earth energy is coming from, because obviously Earth has something to tell you. So I would look up Mercury, Virgo, and Saturn. Again, I'm not an astrologer, but they might have some aspects that you might want to pay attention to regarding whatever is going on for the month of April for you. Numbers you might want to pay attention to are 7, 6, 8, 7, 9, 21, 7, 4, 2, and 6. Now, if you add all those up, you get 77. 7 plus 7 equals 14, and 14 in the major arcana is temperance. And temperance is about being able to indulge but not overdoing it, feeling balanced, a sense of calmness. So I think there's a sense of calmness that you need to find, and that's what your next thing you need to do before you can move on to the next step. Now, if you also want to take that one step further, 1 plus 4 equals 5, which is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is kind of tradition. I like to think of it as like a spiritual teacher. It could just be a teacher in general. But what traditionally can you do to move on to the next step? I hope that kind of makes sense. I do pull 3 extra cards. You got knowledge. So again, that might be something that you might want to pay attention to when you're trying to build more knowledge with whatever is happening here. And it might be the steps that you need to read more in order to go to that next step. Sweet potato. Now that looks like a carrot, so I'm going to, just for validation purposes. But sweet potato. I'm not sure what that means to you. If it means anything, it could mean something about maybe your characters are doing something with food. I don't know. And you have, what is your protagonist's weakness, and how will they overcome it to achieve their goal? I don't know why. I just got a weird ping of maybe their weakness is sweet potatoes. Maybe that is what they love to eat. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but that was just what came to my mind right now. The problem I have with this deck is that it's very limited on colors. Now, so the colors that came to me were black and orange. So there's a lot of black going on here. But the orange, the one card that came up with a lot of orange that really touched me was this crystals one. It was just this one that seems to have one flaw in it. Or it could be the one crystal that has the most energy, or it's the one. So I just kind of, that orange really drew me in. Now the other one that's kind of drawing me in a little bit is this, the orange on these crystals, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. But those are the 2 cards where the oranges came from, but the black on the world is what kind of got me there. So in closing, I do want to let you know that I am putting together a writing community where I would like to help writers get out of their writer's block. If you are interested in something like that and working with tarot cards to move forward into with your creativity and work with it, go to the link in my bio and read up all about it. And if you are, if there's still questions, send me a link, or send me a question. And I guess with that, like, subscribe, follow, and share, and I will see you in the next one.